Welcome back, everybody. That's the first thing we want to say to y'all. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hope that you are all doing wonderfully today, because that's what matters more than anything, right? That you all are doing wonderfully today. So let's see what we can do. Let's see where we can go and what we can chat about. At the very least, when it comes to stuff. And of course, the chat box isn't working right now. It freaking works sometimes. It doesn't work other times. It's odd that way. Let me see if I can get it to refresh browser settings and stuff. Refresh the cache of the current page, maybe. That might be it. Well, it doesn't seem to be working 100%. Hopefully it will be soon. Hello, Kitey. Hello, John Led, Dan H, Melvin, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hoppy, Ravi, everybody who's here. Appreciate you. All the regulars are here. Appreciate you being here as always. And today is an interesting day. I thought the dude was gonna stay quiet. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Dan Apex Sanders, the COO of VSHOJO. Just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, well, they kind of did. So let's take a look at what is going on here. Go and be lurking. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine, Gerard. Lurkies are always welcome, of course, as you know. I'm trying Marvel Rivals on my Steam Deck for the first time. Ooh. Is it Steam Deck certified? I don't even know. If it is, then awesome. Either way, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to get good stuff from, like, good, whatchamacallit, good, FPS from it. I'm going to be talking about this a little bit. Hello, Ravi. Ticket to Hollow ID concert. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Very happy. I remember you really wanted to go to the concert, but weren't sure if you're going to be able to because, not being able to get a ticket, money, etc. So I'm very, very glad you're able to get a ticket for it. The third one that is silent is a ninja. He's not tweeting or talking about Dangerous One. Yes. He actually deleted some tweets as well. Because he got really, 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 really bad shit by it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go a little bit over what he did, was, etc. And beyond that, we are just going to talk about the Google dockey, so to speak. Google dockey, Google jockey, whatever the fuck. We're going to be talking about it a little bit. So, let us see what is going to be happening. Because we need to know what kind of craziness is going on here. That is the main situation we need right here. And I do want to thank you guys as always for being here. I want to thank you guys as always for being your amazing selves. Playable on the deck. I only had to tweak the settings since the APU is 3 years old. Yeah, Steam Deck is getting a little old in years, but remember, not as old as the Switch 1 was before the Switch 2 came out. Switch 1 was like, what, 7 years old or something? By the time the Switch 2 came out. Switch 1 was like old. Like old. When did the Switch 1 come out? When did the original Switch come out? Switch release dates. Random shit. 2017. 2017 is when the Switch 1 came out. Switch 2 barely came out this year. 8 years. 8 years from when it first came out to when Switch 2 came out. Damn. March 2017. So yeah, 8 years. Because didn't like the Switch 2 come out like in June, July? Around there? That is insane. Yeah, June 5th, 2025. So, 8 years from when the Switch came out to when the Switch 2 came out. Hey, that's a perfect birthday present, Ravi. That's a perfect birthday present, Ravi. So yeah, 8 years, man. So the Steam Deck isn't as old as the Switch was. And believe me, I'm pretty sure if, especially with the new APUs that have been popping out by the AMD folks, I think that we may be seeing a Steam Deck, next gen Steam Deck whenever they have a chance to. So let's go. Let's take a little bit of a gander here. I'm gonna be giving a bit of a background, like I said, to everything here. So let's take a look. VSHOJO is in the news again today because their COO, Daniel Apex Sanders, at least that's what people say his name was, he is a public figure, so this is not doxing any of his names or anything like that. Apex, the COO, is in the news again today. As you may or may not know, this is mowtendoo is his Twitter handle. It is Twitter persona, and he said he's going to be leaving VSHOJO. He left around May 14th, and he deleted some things, as you can tell here. He used to have no man what the F around here. He doesn't. He deleted everything from 2025, as you can see here. Why? Because he got called out pretty darn bad. As can be seen here, he got called out by Nanners. MTD had the audacity to talk S about you to my face at a party of the year, and also wanted me to join OTK because her boyfriend Soda is part of the org, or personal gainer some S. So yeah, it was just, he was also getting uncomfortably close and getting kind of creepy with a lot of people. One of the big things that kind of pushed it over was that Vebe herself, and this is Vebe's post, said MTD got reprimanded for being creepy to us, got told not to message us privacy, go figure, and that opened up the woodwork to a lot of things here of people saying this is kind of creepy, bro, what the F, that kind of thing. That stuff happened in the past. The reason I'm talking about them now is because they decided to go on to like Google Dockey, doing the Google Dockey thing, as always. And it says, thank all my friends in the industry, etc., for the tough time that's happened. Spent the following month gathering countless documents, what I had clear, concise records of my involvement with the company. He's, not going to be talking about the creepiness stuff that people have accused him of. Not going to be talking about any of that stuff. And he is going to just talk about the elephant in the room of did he know, did he not know about all the VSHOJO stuff that was happening, etc. Says there was once a time when I was extremely proud of what I helped initially build. There was a lot of hard work and planning involved. Took a lot of pride in my role in launching the company, but now I simply feel misled. So now he's acting like he's a victim again. I don't like this. I don't like this. I already don't like this. I'm betrayed by those involved. The fact that this had to happen, all troubling, to say the least. Feel deeply for those who've been affected by this. If anyone affected by Denny's testimony, evidence, or other material, I don't think anyone's going to reach out to you, man. I honestly don't think so. Taking my own shareholder action against the company, which I won't rule out at this time. I also have to consider action against those that have engaged in defamation against the character. Oh, so you're going to be going and legally fighting those people who said you're creepy. I see. So, pretty much. Hopefully we can resolve those matters privately and amicably. I was never made aware that talent funds were intermingled with company operating expenses. But you were the chief operating officer. You should have known all those things. You were in the C-level execs, my dude. Of course you knew these things. I don't believe, personally, I don't have proof of it, but I don't personally believe that he didn't know. I don't personally believe that he didn't know. I do believe that the VSHOJO Japan had no idea, because a lot of times headquarters does not let the other people know, because, it's kind of a need-to-know basis on some of those things. So here we go. Any budget that was used for marketing was a direct result of asking the amount and was either approved or denied, had extremely limited financial access, only for smart marketing approvals. So he's saying he has no access to these things. Never had access to bank accounts, and not made aware of any of the money that was needed for other investments. Had no idea things were running out. Had I become aware of the financial misuse, would have exited the company earlier, or so you say. This really looks like trying to cover his ass for all the things that supposedly were going on. There are a lot of misconceptions about my role. he was not CEO, he was COO. He signed here as Chief Technology Officer, then Chief Marketing Officer. The change of position was due to internal company pivot of what the company wanted to do. Was assigned his titles, but recently discovered it was not entirely clear if they were legal or formally recognized. So he's saying that even though he was given these titles, they may not have been fully recognized. And it says, I also like to note this time the entire company was remote, no in-person stuff. So he's going to be going over the documents here. Hi, Lyra. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you can make it. You can try again with the server. I didn't see any like you trying to access recently, but supposedly things are working on Floodgate and Geyser. Geyser has been updated to the newest version. Floodgate supposedly is compatible with 1.2, 1.8. So we'll see how that goes. Continuing on though. He continues to say that with new information here, he doesn't know if he was ever legally considered a chief management officer or a chief executive of any of these type of things. So he says here, corporate name, entity, Delaware, the 8th Green, Cedar Dover. That's the principal address that they had there. Mailing address, street address in California, and West San Carlos Street. That's the California office. Financial officer, chief executive officer. So Daniel Sanders was considered the chief financial officer. And director's address is initially when launching the company, I blindly put my trust into these people. Below, I've also attached series of screenshots of documents that failed merger in 2024. Only list the CEO and COO as officers and members of the board. Not include any mention of myself within the company structure. So, Mountain Dew isn't Sanders from what I'm seeing here. Let me see. I thought it was. Thought he was. Wasn't Mountain Dew the COO? Like, then what was he? The operations. Wasn't he the COO? Always? Cause like, I'm not seeing anything else. Oh, Mountain Dew was CTO. CTO. I'm gonna have to correct some things here. Okay, let me see. CTO. I'm getting them confused. Let me fix that right now. Let's see where I did the stuff. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, so we have this. Mountain Dew is his figure. So this is not doxing any of it. You may or may not know. This is Mountain Dew. You may or may not know. Oh. All right. Okay. I'll redo the VSHOJO part. I got things messed up. I'll redo the VSHOJO part, the intro part right now. VSHOJO is, of course, the big company that has failed recently, and you do have a certain person right now who's going to be speaking out. It's a CTO, Mountain Dew, who has been accused of some stuff and things like that. You have all the girls here, and then you have way down here, Mountain Dew right here, CTO, Chief Technical Officer. You're going to hear me mention him as a COO in some parts. That was my mistake. That was my misunderstanding. That was something that, of course, I'm correcting here. And I am letting you know, anytime I mention him as a COO, he is not the COO. He is the CTO. So I do apologize for that. There are confusions there. And I did want to make sure that I have this correct in order to, make sure that there's no confusion between him and, let's say, the COO, which was Daniel Apex Sanders. So let us continue on with what we know now. Ooh, we had a little bit of a surge here. So, let me do this. Let me figure out where I was that had the bad info here. Where I started reading some stuff around. I'm going to have to probably go back like a minute or so, probably. He continues to say that with new information here, he doesn't know if he was ever legally considered a chief management officer. Okay, it's about a minute that I have to correct. Okay, about a minute I have to correct. Just about a minute, so it's not too bad. He continues to say here that he recently investigated some stuff, got some registered documents that were filed, and he got a look at everything. And he says he was never legally considered, I guess, an officer of the company, at least not in the state of California, where you have to, put out your documents when it comes to your company incorporation or whatever. So the only people that we're seeing here is, of course, here's VSHOJO in Delaware, 8 The Green, STAR. These are the principal addresses of where they incorporated. And the street address of their California office was here, Suite 600. They only have Daniel Sanders, which is Chief Financial Officer or COO of the company, and Justin Ignacio, the Chief Executive Officer. And of course, he is redacting the addresses here because you don't want to dox anybody. So he's also, Daniel Sanders was one of the directors. And remember, even though I had erroneously put before that he was a COO, he wasn't. He was a CTO, Chief Technical Officer, so technical stuff like that, and then Chief Management Officer of a marketing officer of the marketing side. So yeah, initially when launching the company, planning to put trust into these people, and seeing more documents down here about more further merger information. Material faxes to director relationships or interests as to the merger. So they were going through a merger, apparently. Daniel Sanders is Chief Operating Officer and Secretary of the company, and a member of the board, stockholder of the company. May receive proceeds, regular stuff with the merger, saying both the Chief Operating Officer and Executive Officer will be able to get some benefits from the merger, as well as holders having company stock. And stockholders will have some benefits from any mergers that were done. Undersigned executive consent to stockholders. The date set above for undersigned respective name. Executive consent, executing the consent, giving the written consent to respect to all shares. Basically saying that stockholder either A is not an entity shareholder within the meaning of Treasury relations, blah, 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 or B is an entity shareholder. This is all on merger documents saying, that they're going to be getting their portion, etc. Personal executive consent on behalf of such an entity that he does sign here, of course, to approve or disapprove of the merger. This was sent, I believe, to all the major stockholders, all the people who held anything like that of them. The main two people that were going to be involved, though, golden parachute provisions, estimated aggregate amount of payments of disqualified individuals could receive in connection with the merger. So in case if they needed to get their golden parachute or leave after the merger, like if they were fired or made to step down, etc., they would receive these type of payments. The estimated total payments for Justin, which is Gun Run, is $2,528,970. Daniel Sanders, as an equal partner, is going to be $2,528,970. Parachute threshold less than $1. If the shares go, I guess, less than $1, is $340 is the least that they can get. Estimated excess payments is $2.1 million. So that is pending stockholder approval of the stuff. And it says they can still receive this even if stockholders don't approve of the merger. And it says interest of the company directors and executive officers. Considering certain company directors and officers have interests. Mentioning this is all gobbledygook about the interest that the officers have in doing things with the company and stocks, etc. Officers with actual potential conflicts of interest, talking about that to the stockholders, talking about that to everyone. The Messrs. Ignacio and Sanders will remain employees and officers of the surviving corporation following the merger, giving everything the risk factors and all that kind of stuff. Each individual undersigned stockholders are aware that each of Ignacio and Sanders, directors of the company, will individually receive closing stock consideration in the merger with respect to shares. Basically saying they're going to be getting shares or they're going to be getting their stuff paid out at some point. And they could be eligible for more compensation. Attached entirety, a copy of the board consent form. This should be VSHOJO stock adoption plan here. The document, which I have obtained, dated February 2021, must be signed by all the members and is signatures for the CEO and COO, respectively. So they needed to have all of this is the one that we just read, all the stuff here. They needed to, is already signed by directors there, and any other directors and stockholders needed to sign. He goes on for the, again, victimhood complex of saying that he was unfairly sidelined. Any criticism I had always felt like they fell on deaf ears. Role in the company more or less began to feel like an employee that did marketing and a few other tasks when needed, as opposed to someone who assisted in getting everything off the ground. So here he's feeling that he wasn't appreciated properly. He wasn't allowed to share his ideas properly. Many projects and pivots that I learned only about after they were in motion. So he also says he didn't, talent's behaviors, reason talent departures, was presented to me by the founders to directly influence my beliefs. So basically, he was saying he was misled through everything. And he keeps going here, saying times it is asked to sign documents without adequate time to get them reviewed by the attorney. Final years of the company did not directly speak with COO or the COO weekly. This was likely due to the fact that I would be extremely critical about decisions. So he said he was being left out of decisions. Here, this whole thing is basically saying that because he was critical of the company, he was being left out of decision making. He was being left out of any kind of chats with them, any of that type of stuff like that. So on May 1st, called a sudden meeting with members of the board, informed that my alleged position as CMO being removed from the company along with 4 other employee positions. So he was let down. He was let go. He was made to step down. Agreed upon the statement would be written in a way to make the departure look more favorable. That I do believe. Because we have that from other talents saying they had to make things more favorable when, Neander's and the girls left before all this thing happened way back in the day during the Harry Potter thing. They left. They were made to leave sometimes together, not really make statements and that kind of stuff for the benefit of the company. Iron Mouse was told that she couldn't leave because it would hurt the company. She couldn't do this or that or it would hurt the company. Something that she was doing is like, oh my God, think of the company type of thing. We already know a lot of this stuff. He says growing distrust that he had due to talent departures. I have recorded notes and transcripts from these meetings that I have retained for my records. So he has more records that he has available. All of my access to my company and email address I had was revoked, and I departed every server, Slack, and company-related software that he had to do. From this point, I began planning working on my own non-VTuber project to launch in late July, early August, which hasn't launched at all because of all the other drama that he got involved. I did a check with CEO to see if anything would be happening with the company that could conflict with the project itself. So he says a little bit of request. Large forward-facing thing I'm working on. Can you keep me up to date on anything large scale that's going to be happening, whether good or bad with the company? Told to check in after Anime Expo and was redirected to a new staff member that was hired. Someone was to be put between myself and the CEO for communications. And here's him with Gunrun, connecting you with this person, taking over for my VSHOJO leadership things that can keep you better to speed. And it says here, doing a check to see if there's anything upcoming negative news or anything like that in the next 30 days. Answer probably yes. So he was given yes one way or another. There's going to be some negative stuff publicly. Can't say what. So they were already preparing for this stuff a long time ago. July 21st, went out about the company not paying out charity. Well, Mouse just posted a thing without any advance notice, so heads up. Well aware. Sad day. I can get some context. VSHOJO owes a lot of money to talents. I don't know when you were involved with the company, but it's been an ongoing issue for a year. For about a year, they know that they've owed talents a lot of money. Charity payment is related. Probably have more context than me, I suspect, but also the relationship with the company. And when VSHOJO ran out of money some time ago, it's been operating with what's supposed to be talent money, hence the current situation. So, this new person already knew about all these things, or at least was informed. I do not blame this new person, but they knew about these things for about a year. We're getting kind of confirmation here if I'm reading these things correctly. They knew for about a year. So never made aware of this being an issue for both CEO and COO. Was aware there was financial issues, but not outstanding payment, especially not for charity. And it says, like I said, I don't know what the relationship was with the role. They're saying since sometime around 2024, this was known. I have to ask Justin, it's been 3.5 weeks, so I'm learning and navigating through the best I can. I don't blame this do person. I don't blame this person at all, because holy crap, they're put into a bad situation. We're almost done here. Change shows when he first became aware. So he's saying I wasn't aware of all these things, but I mean, he isn't denying the whole creep allegations yet. He's just saying he's going to be dealing with those privately. I have many opinions about the way the company was run over the years, was decisions that were made by the board. I feel that one day I will share my opinion on the decisions that are made because the company collapsed financially, the things I would have changed structurally as the company was run, etc. The evidence that they have retained is meeting transcripts, corporate filings, Various contracts, statement information listing only CEO and COO. No mention of myself as an officer. Materials confirmed I was not registered director of the company and likely not an officer despite the titles I was given internally. I also have former staff and former talent that can corroborate things that I have made clear in this statement, as well as a multitude of other individuals who can confirm these statements. Once again, I would like to emphasize my role in the company was not broad as some have suggested, and that he had no ideas since some of these things were happening. It was limited to technology and marketing. Made aware the company needed investments, but not the talent funds were being involved in operations. Grateful for a large amount of support that they've received, and that is what they're going to be saying about this whole thing. So it's a bit of a long one, but kind of an odd one too, to be honest with you. But it is not unexpected that he's going to be trying to distance himself from this thing because VSHOJO is getting a lot of hate. So he, of course, Mountain Dew, as we have here, has done everything they can to distance themselves and has done everything they can to clean up the hatred he's been getting because of the fact that he has been outed as a creep by various former talents and people who have dealt with him in the past. So that is not being, fought here. What's being fought here is the situation with him knowing more about the investments, the using the talent money for operating funds, and the not paying the charity. So that's what we're going for here. I'll be honest with you. I just feel this is a guy trying to, take all the heat off of him and push it onto the CEO and COO, which of course deserve their own heat. I already know my feelings about that. But yeah, I just feel this person is pushing it, like trying to push it on to other people. Not fully sure what the point of the dock is. I'm not legally culpable. I didn't know until now. I don't know how much of the dock actually backs the latter. The thing is, like, in this document here, this part here, a lot of times just the COO and the CEO are the only, or CFO and CEO are the only ones that are put in there. You can have various officers, but the chief two of the company, financially, can sometimes, unless I'm understanding it right or wrong or whatever, it's not out of the ordinary for not all the other like CTOs, CMOs, all that kind of stuff to be there. The financial ones are the ones that are worried about more, and the CEO is always going to be in these types of documents. So that isn't as much of a smoking gun as I think he tries to make it out to be, but it is with these. It's a weird one. It's a weird situation. So a whole bunch of nothing. Let's talk. He says, while the comments are locked, people were questioning where Apex during these downfalls and things like that too. Yeah, so it's like, says Moo was just the Mountain Dew is C-level exec in name, not being listed as one. Not fully sure the point is Doc is to see Dew joined the dumpster fire. Yeah, poor Dew. Holy crap. Pour a drink out for Dew. Holy shit. Yeah, every C-level exec seems to be pointed out against each other. Seems like no C-level execs were ever put in there other than Daniel Sanders and Justin Ignacio. There are probably C-levels on the organizational level. But here's the thing that could also be happening. Justin Gunrun, maybe too lazy, and so Daniel Sanders as well. Maybe entirely too lazy on the whole situation. Too lazy about what's going on, and did not care to update what was going on. Did not care to give any sort of update as to what was going on, if you know what I mean. And in the sense of updating their documents, which is honestly very important to update the documents properly. But they didn't do that, as we now know. It is unfortunate. Fucking hell, man. It is very unfortunate that these things happened. Because, like, for me, I don't like it when people do this. I mean, I think there's fucking no one out there that likes when people do this kind of stuff. Let's see here. Where am I going to cut this shit? As you may or may not know, so here we go. I guess I'll cut it here. And then put the other intro in here. There we go. Yeah, because like I need to make sure I have the right information. Let's see here. What we know now. Let's see here. Because I'm trying to make sure I have the right information here. As you may or may not know, this is Mountain Dew. There we go. Maybe I should add like a transition. Maybe I should add a transition between the two parts. Uh, maybe. Let me see, like freaking the chat on Twitch. I always need to update for whatever reason. I apologize. I need to re-log in. Saying version not supported. See, I didn't see that one. Let me see what it says real quick on your end. On my end actually is what I want to say. Server not supported. I guess has 1.2 1.9 come out? I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out what the heck is going on here. Because I can only update to 1.2 1.8 for whatever reason. I can't go full on to 1.2 1.9. Again, for whatever reason. So I'm gonna have to figure that one out. It's not allowing me to go to 1.2 1.9. Confident say Melody is the rat. Seems like Mika Bell of this whole debacle. It does look like a lot of people are saying that same thing. Even that person do said you probably have more context than me, and he learned in 3.5 weeks. None of the VSHOJO members talked about Melody when she came back. They probably know something or are just in the dark. Yeah, if for whatever reason we start seeing that people distance themselves from Melody, as in no longer doing collabs, no longer doing that type of stuff, then that definitely is going to be an issue. There's definitely going to be stuff going on. Because that would definitely mean that I'm saying definitely a lot. I apologize. Yeah, that would mean that Melody is the quote unquote rat. I can't say for sure. It's all still speculation at this point from me. So that's why I'm saying it like not sure. Because from what I know, from what I remember, no one really said anything when she left for the month or so. No one really said anything when she came back. But like I said, one way we can definitely tell is if people don't do collabs with her anymore. Like none of the ex VSHOJO talents do collabs with her anymore. If that starts happening, then we know something's up. Because if someone hurt you in whatever way, in the way that she was hurt, if someone hurt you as a VSHOJO talent, you probably wouldn't want to actually go and be, hanging out with that person. VSHOJO, like the Mountain Dew, the person who's seen as a creep, etc., is, of course, going to be interesting. The things that are happening are going to be interesting, so to speak. But let's take a look at Mountain Dew tried to kind of push away responsibility. We're going to move on to Momo, which was a VTuber that was going to be a part of VSHOJO at some point. So yeah. it is, of course, something that I don't think he's going to be able to push himself away from, the thing with Mountain Dew. But Momo is someone who we learned a while back that it was somebody that was going to be a part, was actually welcomed in, or attempted to be welcomed in to VSHOJO, at least at some point. And we have yeah, it is striking the Melody sticking so close to Discord. Saying Melody is not the rat is like saying Bodhi 737 Max has no defects. I understand that, but remember, Hackfish, as a well, I'm a tiny public figure, but I'm still a public figure in a larger channel. I mean, amongst very few people get above 10K, but as a larger channel, I do have to be a bit more responsible in what I say. Boy, I wasn't like that in the beginning. I may seem boring to you guys, but look, personally, off the record, yes, I do believe that Project Melody knew more than she is letting on. Knew more about the things that were happening in the background than she is letting on. I don't know how much she was actually doing in the company, like in the sense of the day-to-day. Was she really severely involved in the day-to-day? I don't know that. What I do know, though, is she stayed silent on everything. And there hasn't been as much communication between her and the girls as before. Also, I do know that she was, one of the founding members, one of the ones that pitched the idea of having VSHOJO. So it's not out of the ordinary for her to have more information on this stuff. Continuing on the VSHOJO stuff, though, Momo is actually still involved with VSHOJO, it's stuff that's happening, because she has come out with her statement on some stuff here. It starts around, I believe, around here or so. So that's here.
2020, I was set to debut in the spring with VSHOJO.
Brock, is this real? Brock, what?
She was going to debut with VSHOJO.
Or they decided I wasn't good enough.
I worry for the youth.
Thank you,
It
Mom.
was fucked up because, you don't know, like, one of the most, like, fucked up parts of it is they told me that it was the talent. That the talent didn't feel comfortable with, like, bringing on more people, and that's, like, why they needed to reassess their business practices. So they, like, blamed it on the rest of the talent.
So yeah, that's BS. That's BS, number one. They blamed the talents for Momo not being a part of it. Basically saying, the talents didn't want you to be a part of this. The talents didn't want you to be involved in this, so to speak. In the sense of, they felt, not necessarily you, but more like they felt that it wasn't a good move, or some other BS excuse that people will put out there. So, Melody was recruiting other talents in the beginning. Yes, she did. She was a big part of recruiting other talents. Absolutely. Which is why a lot of people are like, what the hell is going on here? But yeah, let's continue.
That sucked. They blamed the other talent and said that the other talent wasn't comfortable with how fast they were expanding, and that they would have to delay. At first they told me they would have to delay.
You can tell how much it hurts, man. She said she's been crying a lot about this. She has cried a lot about this. I do believe her when she says that. I truly believe her when she says that. Because she seems to be in a lot of pain right now. Zen was recruiting too. She was, but Zen, I don't know. I tend to believe Zen a bit more than Melody a little bit, just in my personal opinion. Because Zen, I don't know. Zen has been very open about everything. Very open and transparent. Melody has said nothing. And that's interesting. Like, Zen has been open about what she can say and what she can't say because of lawyer stuff. She has been open about the fact that lawyers are the main ones that are preventing her from saying anything. So that gets a lot more brownie points than someone who stays quiet. Same thing with Mouse. Mouse has said, look, there's a lot of things I can't say. I'm really angry with what things are going on, the way things are going. I can't say what I'm angry about. I can't say the whole things that are happening. But what I can say is this, 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 and this. And that is, like, I deeply respect that. Because, yes, I do understand that there are things you cannot say. You will not ever be able to say. And because of lawyers until, you know, all the stuff comes out in court and the court case is done. Unless, of course, that also gets suppressed. You can't say, you can't say a lot. So you already talk about Haka, Zani, and no, right now we're talking about VSHOJO. That's become a little bit of a bigger one. You're gonna have to remind, like, send me the link here again, because I think it got lost in the sauce, lost in all this other kind of stuff that's been going on. Yeah. Let's see here. I know you have it on news suggestions a while back, I think, but are you talking about the concert, the cover? Yeah, the cover was one that was a bit ago, I believe. So you might have to, let's see, or at me or something, because even trying to find it is, I think you sent it to me once. And then it was around the AGF thingy. I'm looking at the AGF stuff. Yeah, you're gonna have to send it to me again. Send me the link again because I'm not seeing it in the news section. So, yeah, send me the link again. Is it on Haka's channel? Because I can always just look up on Haka's channel, I guess, in that sense. Let me see here. Okay. All right, cool. Thank you again. This one, I remember. I might just, let's see. Yeah, let's see what we got here. Oh dear me. Oh, darn it. Oh, well, it's good. As long as things are fucking going well here. I forgot that usually when I search the internet, I use a VPN because fucking I don't like ads and my VPN provider, like, blocks ads. Now that uBlock Origin is not allowed, I do that a lot now. So it's that one there. I do want to kind of... try and show a little bit later, but let's continue with this. Let's see what you guys are saying here. She was close to the inner working. She may not be able to speak at all. It's true. Melanie said stream outside of CB to prove her innocence. Melody was the one who backstabbed Nux. Well, her and I know Iron Mouse specifically apologized to him. Like, got on a call and apologized to him. I think of it so I can keep up with the VSHOJO nonsense, like Red Dead characters. My name is Micah Bell, and Nux is like John Marston. The issue with her being a founding member is close to the CFO. Yeah, there's conflict of interest that like being a talent and being a leader in the leadership position are two things that can conflict a lot of times. That's the risky part. That's a risky thing that can happen.
My debut, and then about 5 months later, they came to me and said, "Oh no, we're just gonna tell you to reapply."
I love family bonds. We talk about
Which is ridiculous because I never applied in the first place. They approached me.
What's up, Barry?
Oh god. Okay, I need to stop talking about this. I don't know. It sucks to like feel like all of my friends at the time didn't want me to come into the thing they invited me to.
So, as we know, VSHOJO, the leadership at least, was very nepotistic when it came to things that they were doing, when it came to getting things in, getting things done, all that kind of stuff. It was very, very nepotistic in getting people in. What I mean by nepotistic is that they only went for people that they knew or people that they knew. The talents knew. it was now, as we can see, very hostile with the people that they were getting involved with, and that sucks.
Oh, nice. Oh, I'm great.
And now I just like, I don't believe it. Like,
Oh,
I just
oh my God.
now I don't believe that that was actually what happened. There's just like it's like just I don't know, reopening all this fucking shit, and I hate it. I fucking hate it. I'm sorry.
Thanks,
I'm sorry, guys.
and I'm homebound.
Oh wait.
I love you. I love you.
I know that you guys like. I know that you guys love me. That's like, I cherish you guys so much. It's just it's a little different, you know, because at that time, like, I thought for that, like, all the time that when I was offered and all the time and everything we talked about and all the work I put into it, it just
I simply don't see it.
I felt like it was finally it, you know, like it was finally time that like my family wouldn't have to struggle anymore. You know, I worked, like, all of this had paid off, that everything I was doing was finally worth it. That my family wouldn't have to struggle and I could support them and I was gonna make it. Cause like that's just where I've come from, you know, like.
Oh, there we go.
The tough part, man.
Oh man.
It's
I
pain,
thought that it
dude.
was gonna be finally. I don't know. Like when I told my mom, it was just with such pride, and I was finally proud of myself, dude. It was so nice. And and then it just
I'm going
Come
on.
on, canister.
then it just went away.
Grabbing.
Not only did I feel the same way I felt before I was offered it, but it was worse.
There's no way you go.
I just want it all to be over.
Yeah, man, that's
Part of me
that's
wishes I was
painful.
never even offered it. I don't want. Like,
What's that
the
luxury
biggest
like?
thing out of it is I don't
don't
want money. I don't
Finding out
I don't
right
care about like the money that could have come from it. I just want my mental health back and my friends, and that's it. That's all I want.
And that's the most important part of all here. She was hurt just like many others. It is painful to see that things didn't go so well for her. I mean, they went well afterwards. I mean, she's a part of Mythic. She's growing a lot. She has she's on Twitch TV. She's doing extremely well in the whole thing. She is 275K, but you know, there were a lot of friends in VSHOJO that she wanted to be a part of with Faye and other people that she could have been a part of. It was something that she was looking forward to, something that she got screwed over on badly. She's not the only one, of course. We know about the Beasties, the VSHOJO Ghost Generations, as they're called now, the ones that were going to be monsters, which is the Beasties, and the one that were going to be idols, which is Phoebe, and an idol generation, which is Phoebe and Made Mint, and one more that is unnamed and doesn't want to, you know, be mentioned, whatever. All of them were hurt badly by everything that these people did. These people did not take into consideration the pain that they were causing for others. Oh yeah. I mean, if you guys want to follow Momo, of course, there you goes. Momo on Twitch, and then Momo Mischief on Twitter. Go ahead. She seems to be very well-grounded person. Seems to have a lot of interesting content. Recently has been doing peak special events, major arena, back rooms, that type of thing there. Not back shots, but back rooms. I'm sorry, I had to say something like that. Sorry, I'm stupid. She recently did a 7-year stream celebration as of 4 days ago. That's what she was able to do. Oi. Fucking people. Fucking people calling me. Fucking people. Well, I mean, now that I'm up, I can stretch. But yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks to see this shit happen. Holy fuck, man. Yeah, they tend to share on an artist's tendency to suffer in silence. I hate how agencies play off of that. A lot of agencies play off of that. Hello, Navy. Yeah, we had I mean, luckily I always have DVR on the stream. You can always put me at 1.5x if you want to catch up quickly. Basically, it was Mountain Dew, the CTO of Chief Technical Officer / Marketing Officer of VSHOJO, has come out and put out a Google Doc about, trying to take away their responsibility for a lot of things that were being done. Momo as well, we just went over. She got screwed over by VSHOJO because she was offered an opportunity to join. Basically, she was recruited to join VSHOJO. And in that recruitment, they kind of messed up because they said that the talents didn't want the expansion to be so big. Basically, they blamed the talents for that stuff. Doki was lucky she was a brand risk, because she was never approached by VSHOJO. Doki was too risky for a shady company like VSHOJO. And also Doki, remember, another thing that made Doki extremely risky with VSHOJO was she had a lawyer. And she knew her rights. And she had just gotten out of a shitty company deal. So she could smell BS a mile away. And she probably would have, in my opinion, not gone through with, being a part of VSHOJO. Yeah, Doki Bird had a lawyer ever since what happened with, because she used to be Selene Tatsuki. After that whole shit, she ended up getting a lawyer. Big time. So she's had a lawyer with her, like on retainer the whole time, in case if she ever needs it for contracts with sponsors and that type of stuff. So, we have Le Brave Group, who is dealing with some stuff too. What does not alive you makes you stronger. Salvi, Doki is awesome. Doki is definitely awesome. So true, no one wanted to touch her. She was going to check them. She's going to join Momo as the other IP. No, she's not going to... she was going to join as Momo. It was going to be as like a regular pickup. Like what happened with Melody, Iron Mouse, Zentreya, etc. She was going to, like Kason and those, she was going to get picked up as her old form. Because her form around the time was still pretty big. I think she had like 50, 60k subscribers, followers, whatever, on Twitch. She was pretty big even back then. Like Amelie, yes. Yes, like Amelie and things like that. So, it was going to be something good for her. But it sucks the way things happened. Let me switch this from Japanese to English. It's 2.1 billion yen deficit. So we'll talk about Brave Group right now, real quick. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for saying. For those of you who are new here, of course, hit that subscribe button, smash that bell, and of course, hit a like if you enjoyed what was happening here. And I will continue to be updating on VSHOJO or other stuff in the future. I know that Brave Group may not be the stuff that you guys want to see. That's why I'm letting you guys know, doing the self-promotion. And letting you guys know, just subscribe and that kind of stuff. Or follow, or whatever, in order for you to keep up to date with stuff. I do about 2 videos a day when it comes to VTuber news. So you are definitely going to be kept up to date with everything that's going on. So yeah. If you want, of course. I would appreciate it. I absolutely would appreciate it. I am trying to get to 20k at least by the end of the year. We'll see if we can do that at some point. So yeah, appreciate you. So there we go. Let's take a look at this. I'm doing great. Just got myself a ticket for Hollow ID concert. Nice. Hello, Astro. Hello, hello. Brave Group, which has bought a ton of different companies recently, a ton of different VTuber agencies. They are more like an umbrella corporation, as in putting everything under their umbrella. They used to be known as Unlimited Inc. They have a lot of current groups, which is A-Stars, Chroma Shift, Ijus, Enilis, Globy, Himehina, Kigen Show Records, Mugen Live, Mugen Show Records, Neoporte, Palette Project, Still Live, Uniraid, V4 Mirai, VLash, VSPO, and all their other separate projects there, and Uminos. So all of those are the ones that they had. They used to have different people here, etc. But they have gotten a lot. And by doing that, they have now put themselves in a deficit. That means they owe money. They spent more money than they have. Capital reduced by 1233 million. Capital reserve by JP 400 million yen. So their reserves are dropped by about $4 million, and they're also dropped about $100 million. The capital has been reduced, which is like the income and stuff like that. They reserve by about $4 million. They are cutting back on the capital, according to the decreasing capital reserve amounts. That's something that they put out for the Japanese stock market. It reduced by 1233 million yen, and capital reserve by 400 million yen last year. Cut our capital at this time. Related articles. Companies developing a conglomerate management that develops multifaceted businesses such as IP, platform, esports, XR, DX, incubation, and other multifaceted businesses. Like I said, they did a lot with VTubers. They did a lot with that type of stuff. So that is, of course, something that is going to hit them hard. Company also posted financial results. Loss widened, saying that the final loss for fiscal year ended September 2024 was 2165 million yen. So their full-on loss, the loss that they're putting on the books, is 2 billion yen, which is about 150 to 200 million dollars, US dollars. Previous fiscal year was 884 million yen. So they've been working on a loss because they've been getting more and more and more acquisitions, which will, of course, do that to you. The more you acquire, the more money you're spending to get those companies, the more loss you have. You hope that in the future, it will, at the end of it all, you will get benefits, but you don't know until it happens. So it's very risky, but just want to give you guys a bit of an update on Brave Group, who has all those different groups that you may love and enjoy. Yeah, they still haven't found the golden goose. Nope, they have not found that golden goose. I don't think they will. It's hard to find a golden goose nowadays, man. Because a lot of talented people know they're talented. A lot of talented people know that, you know, they can go anywhere. They can go anywhere they want. They know that. And that is why a lot of them don't go to the bigger agencies. They join maybe like VTuber groups and things like that, but not the bigger agencies. Nope, no lightning in a bottle yet. I hope they won't suffer for it, but it is very possible they will. Hello, Eve. Hello, Eve. They might go bankrupt. We don't know. Hopefully not. A lot of times you'll get like capital investments and things like that that will kind of help you out. So we'll see. And let's see what else we have here. We have this here. So we're gonna be going again to talk about Sakuna. Sakuna. Wiki. Yuki Sakuna. Minato Aqua Wiki. This time, actually, Minato Aqua Wiki is actually necessary here. Ugh. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to her Twitter through here and her YouTube through here. I don't know why it's doing that to me. It's recently done that sign in to confirm I'm not a bot. But fuck you. I'll figure shit out. It's probably in her 3 days ago thing. Let me actually get that R Kurosani thing again. Let's see here. Did she do a video on it? Sakunaverse? She didn't do it. But here's what we're gonna do. they have Sakanaverse. Let's see. Let's see here. Ugh. If I can... I don't know why it's doing this. So we will... I'm going to have to do something real quick, and I'm probably going to have to... You guys are going to see me disappear for a second, and then I'm going to come back as soon as I possibly can. So I apologize for this, but I do have to do